वो सब हम कट करेंगे म्यूट पे। वो सब हम कट करेंगे। वो सब हम कट करेंगे।
Hello and a very warm welcome to everyone. I hope everyone's having a very good Friday. Thank you so much for tuning in to our Hangout for today on Advanced Google Display Network. I'm Sonakshi and I'm based out of the Sydney office and I work very closely with the Google Marketing Solutions team. Quickly before we get started, just in case the presentation feels blurred at any point, please feel free to adjust the resolution on the video by navigating to the cogwheel at the bottom right and hitting the quality button and set it to 720p. And also, please feel free to post absolutely any questions that you may have for us in the live questions section on the watch page. And we're going to try our best to address everything at the end of the Hangout or circle back to you via the account managers. So without much ado, let's take a quick peek into the agenda. It's quite packed though. We're going to start with understanding what display network has in it for us. We're then going to jump on to the ingredients of building a successful display campaign, which is going to involve three major aspects: targeting, bidding, and ad formats. We would then delve into some quick tips on measurement and reporting, and followed by our license to test with confidence via drafts and experiments. Lastly, we're going to look into quick specifics of our open beta smart display campaign, and then we'll have the table open for all of you for any questions that you may have. Now, the studies show that an average user spends only 21% of his online time in proactively searching for something. What happens to the rest of the 79%, you'll ask? The rest of the 79%, the users are spending time on different websites, checking their emails, YouTubing different videos across different devices. And of course, it doesn't end there. If you really have to trace back the user behavior, research will also show you that more than 70% of the users who are browsing online today visit at least 10 different sources before actually making a purchase. And this happens cross-device over phones, desktops, and tablets. Now, in a scenario like this, how do you capture your client's targeting audience at the right moment, at the right place, at scale, with all of effectiveness? A programmatic platform like Google Display Network helps you achieve just this by giving you access to place your ads across 2 million plus websites and apps, reaching over 90% of the global internet users. Now let's see how we can achieve this in practice. We have to work on three different aspects here before we can measure our returns. We start with targeting our user at the right time and place, bidding effectively to then win the auction, and of course, creating a powerful message for the user to engage with our brand. Now, when we have to deploy targeting for our display campaign, it's extremely important that we lay out a business goal for our clients. While all targeting methods can, of course, be used in different permutations and combinations, we recommend using specific ones if the intent of the display campaign is to either drive performance or create brand awareness and recall. Let's look at these targeting options when the goal is to drive performance. We've all seen this at some point in our lives. It's also known as the IDA model, which basically starts out with your user. We first create the awareness about our brand to then gradually influence him for the brand to enter his consideration set, followed by driving an action, and then make him our loyal customer. And the beauty of Google Display Network is that it helps us engage with our users at every single stage of this journey. Let's take a quick look at the different targeting options then. First on the list we have is content keywords, also formerly known as display select keywords. Google's algorithms match your ads to relevant websites based on the context of the keywords that you're providing. A quick example here would be, let's say your keywords revolve around sports. Then your ads will be eligible to serve on publisher websites like sports news, sports blogs, e-zines, sporting event sites, absolutely anything and everything that you can think around sports. Next on the cards is in-market audiences. Now, with its sophisticated algorithms, Google identifies the signals like site content and recency and differentiates interest from intent in real time. I repeat, it differentiates interest from intent in real time and serves ads to users who are extremely close to converting. For instance, my husband, as a user, he may not be interested in flowers at all, and he isn't. But around the Valentine's Day, his intent was to please me, so he browsed for buying roses online, meaning he was close to conversion owing to his intent and not necessarily his interest in a certain product, which were roses in this case. And here is when in-market audiences come into play. Quotes from dealers, which turn it connects the dealers with the ready-to-buy shoppers. Deployed in-market audiences to drive over 10,000 conversions at a 5% lower conversion cost. Now we're all familiar with remarketing. We have all definitely been remarketed by multiple brands in our browsing journeys. Essentially, think of it like this. A user visited your site, you made him a member of a list at your backend by firing a code. Now you have the liberty to target this list of users with tailor-made ads specific to what they were looking for. And this can be done with both standard and dynamic remarketing, not just via Google AdWords, but also Google Analytics. Let's take a quick example. Watchfinder, which again happens to be a leading UK retailer of premium pre-owned watches, they saw less than 5% of the first-time visitors were just making a purchase. They already had Google Analytics deployed across their site, and so they created 20 highly focused lists based on the customer profiles, according to what funnel stage they were in, what location they were coming from, what was the on-site behavior, so on and so forth. And they clocked a 1,300% return on investment and 13% increase in the average order value, merely by remarketing. So the idea is that you can make lists basis users who've spent X amount of time per session or who visited page A and B but not C, and all this via creation of lists in Google Analytics or AdWords. And just to assist you, we do have a special team that can help you set up dynamic remarketing very seamlessly. So feel free to contact your account managers and know them of your specific asks just in case. Now, for some high involvement products, if you do feel that you should go beyond your site visitors, Google lets you create what we also call as similar audiences. Similar audiences list essentially is a set of users who share similar interests and browsing activity as that of your actual buyers or past buyers. It's generally about 5 times your usual remarketing list and typically shows about a 40% uplift in conversions if used in conjunction with your standard or normal remarketing lists. Do not, of course, miss out on showcasing the ads when the user's mind space is relatively freer of any other brand by leveraging upon the Gmail sponsored promotions. Expandable and collapsible ads that basically show in the promotions tab of the Gmail awareness and create more brand recall value. First up in this one is going to be affinity targeting. Now, if you remember, in market targeting, where we discussed that Google tries to capture the intent over interest and bases recent browsing signals, showcases ads of users who are likely to convert. In affinity targeting, interest is being captured using users' long-term browsing journey and best fit your brand in their consideration set. We're just going to take a quick minute here. Okay, we're really, really sorry about the technical glitch, guys. It's sad that being a technology company, this happened to us at the wrong time. But it's okay. We're going to proceed. We're really sorry about that. And thanks for your patience while we were sorting this out. We're going to try and get back into groove quickly. So affinity targeting it was. Now, if you remember, in market targeting, where we discussed that Google was trying to capture the intent over interest, and basis the recent browsing signals, showcase ads to users who are likely to convert. Now, in affinity targeting, on the other hand, interest is being captured using users' long-term browsing journey and best fit your brand in their consideration set. So if I'm a techie, I'd frequent the technology-related sites more often and would therefore be more likely to register a tech brand showcased on me on one of these sites. And if the product or the service happens to be niche, you're meaning to not layer up multiple targeting options because it'll narrow it down. So you could make use of custom affinity segments. Further next will be topic targeting, wherein you decide the topics of the websites that your users are likely to visit and weed them out from the plethora of topics available to make it most relevant for your business targeting. The next segment that we're going to jump on to is bidding. Let's take a super quick example here. If my client's goal is to show the past visitors of his website who are now browsing for similar items across the web, that's when I decide to use target on something known as an and rule here in a way. I'll repeat. If my client's goal is to showcase the ads only to the past visitors of his website who are now browsing for similar items across the web, that's when I'm going to put target and bid to use. Because what we're using is an and rule. So my users should be a part of the remarketing list and should also be on the websites of certain specific topics only. The moment your client changes this to an or rule, then you're then looking at bid-only bidding strategy for the secondary targeting option. Please ensure that there is at least one targeting option always set to target and bid for the ads to serve. And do not forget to optimize the bidding by using the display adjustments, bump up or down if the bids of a specific pattern are being noticed. And then you can also make use of the flexible automated bid strategies, which is for a performance optimization towards conversions in specific. With a considerable number of conversions on your campaign, the algorithm's function is going to function in a manner that will get you the maximum number of conversions at the least cost per conversion possible. Our programmatic technology that lies at the heart of any Google Display Network campaign, it uses millions of real-time context and audience signals to bid in auctions that are going to drive results for your clients. The next on the cards that we're going to jump on is ad format options. Now, we of course understand that your users are going to be scattered across the globe, some browsing on the go, while sipping their coffee, or others just to miss their office work like everyone. So we render your ads in a way that they show with the highest quality on all web pages and apps across the devices. What we require from the clients is to give us 4 assets, and we take care of everything else by creating something known as a responsive ad. We request the client for headline, description, image, and URL, and then we put them in a responsive format that adapts to the surrounding of the browsing device. Now, if the client is unable to provide with the creatives, we do have a ready ad gallery where you can customize the ads and publish with relevant call to actions for your business by simply scanning your client's website. Once you've found your highest value users, we make it easy to engage with them no matter what device or channel they're on. We have 3 broad categories of creatives on the Google Display Network: text, display, and video. By using each of them, you can extend your reach and engage your audiences at the moments that matter. So for text ads, which are also the Google's optimized display format, of the largest formats used. Image on the other side, which Google has basically simplified the entire image ad process. One horizontal banner, one vertical banner, and one box, and you will reach over 95% of the Google Display Network. And we make this possible by resizing your assets so that you can get the greatest possible reach without sacrificing on the quality. Video is basically when you can access your YouTube audience using the same audience signals that you use for all the other display advertising. Now, when you have to show the personalized content to your customers, you can do it with a feed that you control. Your ads show the new products, services, or even promotions for that matter that you update on your feed. A quick example that comes to my mind right now is if you want to showcase the products a user has seen before, but this time with a price drop or a sale or a promotion, use dynamic display ads. You can use a Google Web Designer tool to create these in case you'd like. We also discussed the Gmail sponsored promotions earlier. The ad format that we use in this type of campaign is Gmail ads, which are basically the collapsed ads that expand on user click or hover to give your client's brand 100% engagement. And this is, again, one of the very famous success stories for Gmail ads. Shadi.com also happens to be an extremely popular matrimony site which has presence across the globe, happens to be world's #1 matchmaking site. It uses a combination of keyword and interest targeting alongside their demographic profiling of its users. Now, when they ran Gmail ads on auto bidding, they noticed over 70% of the conversions that they were receiving on Google Display Network were actually coming from Gmail ads. Now, on the video front, 42% of the online shoppers use video as part of their pre-purchase research, and 62% use YouTube to find products. So in order to reach these highly involved consumers, by not just the visual appeal of images, but also the sound and motion by means of a video, use the video ads to your client's advantage. Next up is even interesting. It's the rich media format known as the lightbox ads. Now, lightbox ads essentially they responsibly combine the client's ad assets, be it the videos, be it the image galleries, or even maps for that matter, and can contain a combination of these all at the same time. When people engage with lightbox ads by either clicking, tapping, or hovering, the ads then respond. They may expand to fill the screen or to display the entire video, or it will also allow people to tap through a set of images. And what you pay is only when the user engages via these actions. We also have the app install ads, as you may already know. Now, agenda. Next leg on the agenda is going to be the measurement and reporting, which is key to absolutely any campaign's performance. So how do we measure the campaign performance targeting display network? We start with identifying what a successful campaign would mean for a client basis their business objective. Once we've charted that out, if you have a definition for a conversion already laid out, set it up to then be able to optimize your campaign for conversions basis this data. Even the flexible bidding strategies that we spoke of earlier can only be effectively put to use once we have a good amount of conversion history in place. Now, this one is extremely interesting. It basically helps you benchmark your client's campaign performance with the other competitors in the same industry. So you can pull vertical benchmark reports like the click-through rate, the video completions, expansion rates, so on and so forth. And how do you do that is basically by going to this tool, also known as the Rich Media Gallery Benchmark tool. And you could further deep dive into this data country-wise or ad format-wise or absolutely any metrics alike. So we've seen how the tool looks like in this slide. And next up is in terms of how do we go about monitoring the performance. So we start with ensuring that the ads are definitely serving within the first 24 to 48 hours while we've made the setup. Also, if you have any conversions that you'd like to set them up right when you're setting up the campaign. And once the system has gathered enough volume of impressions, clicks, or even conversions, make sure that you optimize the campaign in terms of peak hours using ad schedule, reach people from locations that are more active, while location with adjustments, and so on. You could then choose to turn on auto optimization tools to maximize the return on investments. And of course, finally, definitely make sure that you're monitoring the performance at least twice every month to gauge any significant patterns that could be leveraged upon. This could be made once basis the campaign performance. Now we're almost approaching the last leg of our Hangouts today. This is our license to test with confidence. What we do is do campaign drafts and experiments. In one line, think of a draft as a mirror to your campaigns, while experiments are the actual testing environment. An experiment is like a brand new campaign, which is identical to your original campaign, but contains your draft changes. You specify the portion of your display campaign cookies and the campaign's budget that go to your experiment. So what are we specifying? The display campaign cookies and the campaign's budget that goes into the experiment. The system then performance between the two campaigns, which is the base campaign and the experiment campaign, and reports it. The experiment campaign is like a shared budget. Think of it like a 20-80 split for experiment and base campaign respectively. And lastly, what we also have is a beta running for smart display campaigns. You can think of this as the pinnacle of programmatic, where bidding, targeting, and creatives are all auto-optimized by our systems for you. All the system needs from you is a pragmatic target CPA bid, the cost per acquisition bid, the budget you're willing to allocate to this campaign, and the landing page and creative assets. The Google system then works towards creating an auto-optimized creative, which is showcased to the right user in a cost-effective manner on the Google Display Network inventory, which happens to be most relevant for your business. So all we're requesting for is target CPA, the campaign budget, and the creative assets. And then Google takes care of the rest. Our clients who've been using this have reported 20% jump in the conversions at the same cost per acquisition. That's it from our end for today. We really hope it was helpful, and we can imagine that there may have been a lot of instances where you would have left like you would want to ask a question. So if you've not already posted them on the live question section on the watch page, feel free to circle back via your account managers, or you can post them now. We look forward to hearing from you. We're just looking through the questions now. So we have the very first question with us, which is, what would be the average CTR per display targeting option? Thanks so much for the question. Very interesting question. So if we go back to where we were discussing the benchmarking tool for the display network, and I can go back to that slide if you'd like, it basically helps you identify different CTR benchmarks for different industries, and you can slice it up by country, by different verticals. You can reach it at www.richmediagallery.com/tools/benchmarks. I hope that helps. Just in case it doesn't, please feel free to write back on the same live questions threads that we can take it from there. So we have a next question from Tomorrow Agency. What other tools are there to build campaigns to follow a customer's journey from interest, consideration to action? Very good question again. Follows the IDA model. So when it comes to tools, we have Display Planner tool for you to help with any placements that you'd like to specifically choose. You could definitely look at our topic suggestions. You could choose Google search trends to see what are the basic searches that are being made. But in terms of the targeting from the display network point of view, if we go back to the slide where we spoke of the IDA model the very first time, we have a charted progression of what kind of targeting methods work best when we're trying to follow the IDA model. So I'm just going to go back to that slide if you're able to see this. Here it is. So when we're basically trying to build awareness, we would suggest that you keep it a little open and flexible and not narrow down by using multiple placement or multiple targeting options for that matter. Once you've gauged that the brand has built enough awareness, please move on to using more targeting options like the audience keywords, the in-market audiences, and specifically focus on similar audiences because it helps you capture similar users. So that will help influence the consideration and also in turn drive action. When it then comes to growing loyalty towards the brand, please do make use of dynamic and display remarketing alongside content keywords. And very importantly, because Search Network is specifically focusing on clicks and conversions, and if you combine that with the display select, which is the SNDS type of campaign, you're there. Again, I hope that helps, but just in case there are any other tools that you're looking for, we can circle back to you via your account manager who can then brief you further on this. The next question that we have from Adam, I've tried to run some display ads on eBay for one of our clients, and I've tried using display ads made with the ad gallery tool as well as responsive display ads and used eBay URLs as a placement. We've received 0 impressions and 0 clicks, even though the ads are approved. While I would love to comment on this one, and I could possibly go through the potential reasons, but because this is super account specific, we would appreciate if we actually take this forward through your account manager. But we're taking note of the question definitely, and we should reach out to you as soon as the Hangout is over. So the next question that you also asked is it only possible to show display ads on eBay through eBay? We will definitely get back to you on that. And thanks to the representative from Tomorrow Agency for letting us know that it helped. So we have 5 more minutes for the question. And just in case anything remains left out or you feel that you want to still ask any questions post that, please do circle back via your account manager so that we can assist you more seamlessly. Thanks, Andrew. I see that you would like to know the answer to Adam's question, but unfortunately, because it was a very account-specific question, we'll have to take this later post the Hangout because we're really looking at addressing any generic questions at the moment. But we could let you know the potential reasons post the Hangout via your account manager if that's okay. We'll leave it open for another minute, please. But rest assured, in case you have any questions, post that as well. We're right here via your account managers for you. All right, then, looks like we're good to go. Thanks everyone again for tuning in and for all the interesting questions. We'll be sure to circle back to you via the account managers like mentioned before. And feel free to let us know if there are absolutely any questions post this as well, or if there are any specific asks that you may have. Thank you so much. Have a good one and have a good weekend.